All right, breaking news. Yes, the BNL, yes, the Biafra Nations League has captured a strategic oil installation as Nigerian government scrambles. All right, good morning, people. Good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome back to Expose News TV. Yes, my people, always here to give you live updates on how things they be. Going into the details without further ado. Yes, the Biafra Nations League has seized control of a major oil installation in the Niger Delta area region rather, and of course it's a major severe blow to Nigeria's economic lifeline. The attack took place in the morning as the forces overtook the facility after a brief standoff with the security personnel. My people who say you hear I'm a brief standoff, it was something that was brief and coordinated. It wasn't an anyhow thing that you would wake up to do. Okay, yes, the oil installation, which is one of the largest in the region, account for a significant portion of Nigeria's crude oil production and the revenue. The takeover has sent shockwaves. Of course, my people, you would not hear this on the news. You would not hear this anywhere at all because that is what it is. With fears of production disruption and a spike in global oil prices, experts have estimated that the halt in operations at the facility could cost the country millions of dollars in revenue daily. My people, which we know that these millions of dollars in revenue has not been even coming into the country. Things are getting worse. Where is all the money going to? Where is every income that comes into the country going into? My people, it just lets you come to a full-time understanding that everything is a complete waste of time, even if you were to allow it to keep going, if you or the production were to keep going, the country would still be wallowing in debt, and that is the truth of the matter. Okay, we continue with without wasting much of your time. It says here that the Nigerian government already grappling with the resignation of the military control and forces. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declared, of course, the Biafra movement a national threat, and emergency meetings have been held to address the crisis. However, with security forces overwhelmed and demoralized, the government response has so far been limited to issuing threats of retaliation. My people, on a low key, you should just be listening to these things on a low key because the takeover, the full time takeover for the Biafra independence and freedom is as close as it can be. And I hope that you people are actually taking note and getting ready for it because at this point, we are on the verge of creating something extraordinary. I repeat, something extraordinary that you might not be so surprised at the end, so that you would be in view of this particular movement that is taking place. He says here, of course, it is a big victory for the Biafra movement, and he says that this is just the beginning. Say the spokesperson for the BLA. Nigeria's stranglehold on our people and resources will end. And that is the truth of the matter. This is the aim of everything, to make sure that everything comes to an end, because these people have held down everything that sings or wallows close to the movement of the Biafra movement or anything Biafra land resources. They have held it down and have sworn life and death not to allow us move forward on any ground. And that is just the truth of the matter. They have sworn here and there to make sure that things do not work out. My people, we are not on that level of seeking to make things better or smoother. We have gone with dialogue for the longest of times and it has not worked out. My people, it is time to go towards the way that would make everybody shiver with everything that is happening, and that is just the truth of the matter. And hopefully we will get the desired response that we need. We will get the response that we need, because even at this point we are making moves. We are making big moves, and we are going to actually succeed in everything we are doing. Okay, my people, the next set of things you'll be hearing is and will be the movement upgrades, and the PM are making a full-time broadcast on everything that concerns the movement. All right, be very careful to listen attentively and enjoy. Thank you.
Are gathered in Finland in October 2023 to declare this charter. This is the main thing that brought all of them to Finland, and this charter is what gave birth to the redeclaration of Biafra 2024 that just happened a couple of days ago. So pay attention. Don't be confused. Do not allow any individual to come on social media to lay a baseless allegation against anyone without any proof to confuse you. We have gone beyond explanatory exposition. We have gone beyond explanatory exposition. When people will come and face the camera on Facebook or wherever and start telling you, without showing you any tangible reason or evidence, a substantial evidence of what they are saying, I call them rabble rousers and gossipers. I don't belong to that very category. I don't belong to that category. Not Biafra Unite, not me or the Nangwa. Now, let's take this. Your eyes will open this evening, because I know what I'm doing now. Many of you, 95% of you watching this very broadcast now, have never thought of it, have never come here, have never reasoned this, have never even read this very charter. This is our law. This is our law. Pay attention. This document, the Biafra Charter, the charter, is the organic and foundational agreement for the establishment of a national structure, governance structure, governing authority, and basic code of conduct for the functionaries and peoples of Biafra. For the functionaries and peoples of Biafra. The Biafra Charter is a formal instrument which at once constitutes, pay attention, authority, number 1, number 2, mandate, number 3, contract, number 4, memorandum, number 5, terms of reference, and number 6, reference. And it went on to say, for the matters which are addressed or referenced by the charter, and in accord with such matters addressed or referenced therein, granted by the nation of Biafra through the collectivity of the representatives of the communities and peoples of Biafra to the functionaries and for the functions stated in the charter. Then, purpose of charter, the purpose of this very charter, pay attention, my wonderful people of Biafra. Number 1, the primary purpose of the charter is to establish an enduring national structure. The primary purpose of this very charter is to establish an enduring national structure. Enduring national structure. Enduring national, to establish an enduring national structure. I want you to outline it. Outline that. Very important. Now, governance structure and basic code of conduct for the people and the functionaries as directed by the peoples of Biafra, which contribute to and inform a future national constitution. And it says, which contribute to and inform a future national constitution. Are you paying attention, my wonderful people of Biafra? This is very important. And now let's move to another page. The importance of what I'm doing now, The importance of what I'm doing now is to show you who is wrong or who is right and where you are supposed to stand. Are you paying attention? And who has come to destroy what we are doing? Who has come to destroy our freedom? We are talking about who, what I'm doing. I'm not here to explain to you about any human being. What I'm doing now will show you who has come to destroy our freedom. Now listen. Second, in addition, the charter has provided the platform for the formation of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, and Biafra de facto government, BDFG, to serve the nation and people of Biafra during the period that Biafra is under the occupation of Nigeria. Are you paying attention? Can I translate here in Igbo? Do you want me to be translating it in Igbo when I read? But remember, we haven't even gotten to the main point. Listen and pay attention. Organization of charter. This document is sectionalized into A, Biafra Charter Authorization; B, the federal structure of Biafra; C, the charter constituting the government of the Federation of Biafra; the charter constituting the government of the Federation of Biafra; D, the declaration of 9 basic laws; and E, amendments. E is amendment. Now, listen. Biafra Charter Authorization. Biafra Charter Authorization. Whereas the peoples and nation of Biafra and their land and property find themselves under physical, sociological, political, economic, and physiological subjugation since the 1914 amalgamation of the Southern and Northern Protectorates, and has continued under different political dispensations by the state of Nigeria. In particular, since 1970, a state of occupation by Nigeria of Biafra has existed and continues to exist with indiscriminate indiscriminate killings of Biafra people, forceful disappearance of Biafra people, unlawful invasion, destruction of properties, homes and businesses, government-sponsored invasion of indigenous communities, and being aided by the military, police, and other security agencies with the main objectives of ethnic cleansing, land grabbing, and Islamization. Now, unwilling to continue to live under such stifling servitude while suffering such indignities as are inappropriate for human beings, Biafrans are determined to exercise their natural and legal rights to freedom and liberty. Listen and listen very good, because I'm coming to your doorsteps. It says, now, therefore, we the peoples of the Federation of Biafra have resolved. We have gotten there now. Listen. Have resolved to actualize, renew, reaffirm, and continue in accordance and pursuant to the May 30, 1967 Biafra Independence Declaration with all the implications thereof. In reaffirming the independence of Biafra, the peoples and nation of Biafra make neither war nor peace with the state or peoples of Nigeria. Rather, we exercise a natural right, a popular right, a political right, and a right supported by the United Nations Organization Charter and international laws. The right of self-determination, right to self-defense, and right to self-governance, in the certain realization that only the effective exercise of self-determination by the peoples and nation of Biafra will end the state of occupation and subjugation by Nigeria of Biafra. In furtherance of this exercise, the Biafra Charter, a formal framework of the people and nation of Biafra, lends authority to and issues a mandate for the creation and formation of Biafra de facto government, BDFG. Listen, my people, with this, you will learn this very evening. Mandate of BDFG, mandate of Biafra de facto government. To create, form, operate, and manage a de facto government for and by the peoples and nation of Biafra, such government, such government to function in the meantime, as a bona fide government of Biafra in the manner of legal, customary, and decent governments. To secure the freedom and liberty of Biafra in its peoples from occupation by Nigeria, based on self-determination, paradigm, and principles with all haste and by all means necessary. To represent the sovereignty and interests of Biafra and its people in the region and in the world at large. To project the sovereignty, independence, and humanity of Biafra and its people at all times. Now, pay attention. We have gotten now to the main case that we are treating today. If I treat it today, what we are treating today is where we are now. We have entered there, and I want every one of you to pay attention. I will show you where to go so that if you want to go and read for yourself, you will go there to the page where I'm reading now in order to read for yourself and confirm it for yourself. Now listen. To constitute a transitional government of Biafra, which is known as TGB, Transitional Government of Biafra. Remember, I played you our PM's, conversation, which he talked about how the transitional government of Biafra. Now he said, this very charter, the Biafran charter said, to constitute a transitional government of Biafra, TGB, immediately after liberation of Biafra from Nigeria. Now, to constitute a transitional government of Biafra known as TGB immediately after liberation of Biafra from Nigeria for a specified and finite duration not to exceed 4 years. My people, I want you to reason today. If today happens to be the only day you can reason, please utilize today to reason. Because what Nigeria has come to do is to destroy us completely. After the arrest of our prime minister, Nigeria came to destroy us within. So I want you to reason. Follow this very, lecture very, very well. I want you to leave every other thing you are doing and focus, because I may not be able to do this again. I am not here for saga, so I may not be able to do this again. This may be only one time that I'll have time to do this. Pay attention, my wonderful people of Biafra. Now, let's take that again. To constitute a transitional government of Biafra, which PM had already said based on the conversation that I played for you before coming here, before coming to the Biafra Charter, from PM direct. To constitute a transitional government of Biafra known as TGB immediately after liberation of Biafra. Immediately after liberation of Biafra, not immediately after declaration in Finland. We are still in exile. In case you don't know, don't let anybody confuse you. We are still in exile. And I don't want to talk first. Let me finish reading, then I'll talk. Now, immediately after liberation of Biafra from Nigeria for a specified and infinite duration not to exceed 4 years. Pending the formalization of Biafra state structures, post-occupation and post-liberation. Una na anụkwu oyibo ka unu chọrọ ka nna translate ya n'Igbo. Ụmụ be anyị, ụmụ Biafra, the Biafran people. Do you people do you people understand it? Do you people understand it, or you want me to translate it in Igbo language? Let me take that again. Let me take that again. It says, immediately after liberation of Biafra from Nigeria for a specified and infinite duration not to exceed 4 years, pending the formalization of Biafra state. Listen, the formalization of Biafran state structures, post-occupation and post-liberation. Everything, before we even talk about anything, we are going to first of all liberate ourselves from Nigeria, and this transitional government is post-occupation and post-liberation, post-occupation of Nigeria in Biafra territory and post-liberation after we must have, evicted Nigeria from Biafra and liberate ourselves from Nigeria. Then we begin to talk about transitional government. We haven't even come to BRGIE. We haven't come to, I want you to follow. Borrow ear this evening. Borrow ear this evening. Borrow ear this evening. I know the reason I said that. Not for insult. I know the reason I said that. Now, to secure Biafra people and its territory, the Biafra Republic government in exile has formed and deployed the Biafra Liberation Army, BLA, Biafra Resistance Fighters, BRF, and Biafra Air Force, Biafra Navy, the Black Marines, and the Dragon Fighters Marine. Structures of BDFG. The Biafra de facto government shall consist of 2 arms. Now, Ugo Ebelugonambawu, and I want everybody to listen. Ugo Ebelugonambawu. Now, the functions of BDFG, Biafra de facto government in the homeland. Now, the Biafra de facto government shall consist of 2 arms. A Biafra Republic government in exile, BRGIE, which is number 1, based outside of Biafra. Remember, the Biafra government consists 2 arms. Number 1 is BRGIE, which is based outside of Biafra. And number 2, a Biafra government within Biafra, to be known as Biafra Republic government in the homeland, known as BRGH. Biafra Republic government in the homeland. Now, both arms shall function in tight coordination and in harmony with the BRGIA in the apex role. The BRGIA will be in the apex role, which is Biafra Republic government in exile, will be in the apex role, because every decision and things we will be doing will come from BRGIE down to de facto in the homeland. Right? Now let's continue. Functions of BDFG. The sole function of Biafra Republic government in exile and Biafra de facto government is to carry out the mandate of the Biafra de facto government as stated in the Biafra Charter authorization. BRGIE shall respect laws of host communities in furtherance of this mandate. BRGIE shall respect international laws dealing with self-determination and protection of human rights and rely in particular on the Geneva Conventions Protocol 2. BDFG, Biafra de facto government in homeland will work with our peoples at home. Will work with our peoples at home in Biafra territory and in Nigeria
remain adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you honestly you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle as you and ask ourselves,